Hey, good morning, Mike. How you doing?
How you doing? Okay, how you doing today?
Thanks for joining us again today. Uh, everybody, Mike's here, and as you know, he's the unknown picker. He's changing his name every day to kind of keep things, keep people guessing. But same guy, he's got a great insight on these storage unit auctions. So today we're going to talk to him about things to watch out for and weird things that you might find in a storage unit. All right, Mike. So what's one of the weirdest things you ever found in a storage unit?
Well, in Southern California, and I understand it's happened several times, but I was there when this one happened. A lady bought a unit in Southern California, and there had been another woman hanging around the unit, trying to get money to pay for the unit. She looked pretty bad. But anyway, a lady bought the unit, and when she got inside the unit after she paid for it and started high grading, looking for the better stuff, separating the good for the bad. A lot of people do that. There was a 55-gallon drum in there with the woman that was outside the storage unit with her husband's body in it.
Oh my.
Yes, and I understand that's happened several times, but you can imagine that was quite a shock.
So what did the woman do?
The other woman had gotten in trouble anyway before. Well, she went to jail. Of course, they called the police naturally, but that did happen.
Wow. Anything else that's real unusual that you pulled out of one that you weren't expecting?
Yeah, I pulled regular meat.
Really?
That I'm not.
Rancid?
Yes, very bad. You open up the unit, and it looks okay, and you don't smell nothing. Then when you get to the back, you start picking up stuff, and there's stuff underneath it, and the odor gets real bad.
Wow.
I mean, there are some pretty bad units every once in a while.
Why would somebody put meat in their locker?
I have no idea. I couldn't tell you. Sometimes I wonder why they store some of that stuff that's so bad.
Wow.
Some of it looks like it should have went to the dump. You got to be careful with those units like that. That's really important.
So what are the big things you got to look out for?
Well, when you go to a sale, the first thing is, and you said that you wanted to kind of give everybody an idea how to prepare and everything over the next 8 or 9 videos.
Yeah, in the next 8 or 9 episodes, we'd like to kind of give them a basic outline, step by step. What do you got to do? What do you got to watch out for? And
well, you have to prepare your stuff for it. I mean, you can't just go out and buy one and then go through the stuff and go sell it. And you can't. But it'd be a lot of trouble, and you'd have a lot of problems getting rid of it, unless you're just buying it for the fun of it. And there's 2 different ways. Some people will buy part-time. Some people will want to make a living at it. But number one, you need to prepare yourself for what you're going to do. And if you don't know anything about it, some of the steps will sound silly to people that already know some of it. And things like, one, you're going to need a place to store everything, because you're going to end up with a lot of merchandise. You're going to have to find a place to sell everything. And there are 8 or 10, 12 different options that can work for you. There's a lot of ways to save money for that. You need to educate yourself. If I was somebody, I'd go through I'd go through the newspaper every day. I'd pick up copies of Covell's and Orman's and books. Go to the library and look at antiques and collectibles and furniture so you can distinguish and know the difference between new and old. A lot of people might already know that, but will be some people that have never shown any interest in that need to have the books. And I would also spend every minute I could on eBay looking at prices there. The prices on eBay are realistic. I mean, that's what somebody's going to pay for something plus the shipping. And in preparing yourself, don't forget you're going to need a truck or some kind of vehicle or a trailer. A lot of people I know that started out in this business, they had a trailer. They'd buy a small trailer, they'd buy the unit, put it on the back, and they'd take it to swap meets or they'd take it to their house and have yard sales. A lot of women do that. And then they would high grade at home out of their garage. That's one way to go about it. Then you're going to need a lock when you buy your unit. Of course, that's common sense. You have to lock the storage up yourself. When nobody's getting in it for obvious reasons.
Now, how long do you have to get the stuff out of there?
Well, they'll tell you 24 hours, and sometimes they're pretty solid with that. But as a rule, they'll give you several days. Some people will give you a week. It just depends on the manager from the unit. Sometimes there's a deposit for cleaning, and then sometimes there's no deposit. You keep a little black book. That was one of the first things that I was taught. Get a little black book. Keep track of everybody and every unit that you go to. In other words, you meet somebody at a storage bin sale, you meet the manager, you meet the auctioneer, write it down. Talk to people about the auctioneer. Talk to them about the manager. See what they think of him. And if they say he's okay, he doesn't go through the units, the auctioneer is straight as an arrow, that's great. But unfortunately in this business there are unscrupulous people. And most auctioneers are great, by the way. But there are those that dabble. You know, they have somebody buy the unit for them. I've seen that a lot.
So if you see the same auctioneer with the same guy every time you go to the auction, that's kind of a red flag?
Sure it is. It tells you. But I mean, it doesn't mean you can't compete against them. But like maybe somebody put that mattress in front of the merchandise so you couldn't see. Maybe there's something they want in there. Maybe there's something they don't want you to see because you wouldn't bid on it. Could be 100 reasons. You have to be aware all the time.
Have you seen a lot of units that have a mattress right when you open it up?
I've seen more than the average. And then what bothers me the most over the years is when you take the mattress away and you look in the back, the stuff is just piled in there. And too many times there's just not much good stuff behind it.
So sometimes them putting that mattress out in front might actually help them get a better price for the unit.
Exactly right. And that's just something you should be aware of. Also, I noticed over the years, they have what they call holding units. A holding unit is when somebody leaves something and moves out and there's not enough for a sale, or maybe the items didn't sell. This is called a holding unit. And what they do is they haul everything into that unit, and when they get it half full or full, at one of their next sales, they open it up and they sell that unit.
So it's basically everybody's
Stuff.
leftover junk that they didn't care about.
That's one of the unusual things. When I was very young, I bought a unit, and I'll never forget this as long as I live. I didn't pay much for it, and I didn't lose any money on it, but I didn't make a lot of money either. What tipped me off to that is I bought this unit, and I didn't pay too much for it. I went in and started looking through everything, and I noticed that here was some photographs and some material that belonged to John Doe. Then I saw another box. I opened it up, and here's another box of papers, personal papers that belongs to Mary Smith. So I'm starting to think, Jesus, it must have been two people in the family. By the fourth or fifth box of all these different people's personal pictures, I put it together. Some of them were from out of state. That's when I put together about the holding unit. Of course, most people that have been in the business for a while know well that that's what it is.
Now, were you able to salvage enough out of that unit to break even?
To be honest with you, it's probably one of the best units I ever bought in my life.
Really?
Sure, because your first loss is your best loss. It makes you look a little harder next time and check things out before you buy them.
Well, that's a good thing to look out for, Mike. So you gotta really know what you're looking for before you get to that auction.
Yes.
Otherwise, you get caught off guard.
Yes.
All right. Is there anything else you'd like to go through today, Mike, or we're going to save that for the next episode?
Well, when you're preparing, you need a flashlight with you so you can look in and see around the unit. Most people won't let you go in to a unit once they open it. Some people will. It just depends on the individual. Auctioneers are real funny about that. When you get to the sale, talk to people. The people that buy units there will pretty well tell you the truth. They're vicious with each other, and they'll have bad stories about each other, usually. But that's part of the business. Everybody's trying to scuffle for position, and so will you.
Okay, well, in a couple days, we're going to find out firsthand, because I'm going with you to a unit.
Yeah, yeah.
And if that guy lets us film it, we're going to film something for our fans here, and we're going to show them what it's all about live. So.
Well, at the very least, we can film afterwards and show them what's in there.
Yeah,
give
absolutely.
A good insight on something. Be like a little treasure hunt. So, folks, we're going on a treasure hunt.
All right, Mike. Thanks again, buddy.
You bet.
See you later.
Thank you.